you for joining me today in Aunt Mazie's kitchen. I'm so happy that you have joined me. I am making for you today a traditional Jamaican dish. We call it stamp and go, but another name for it is codfish fritters. It's a dish I find perfect for breakfast or for lunch, or we can make some small ones and use them when we are entertaining. I start by using codfish, and I boil 1 pound. And when I flaked it and I weighed, like, you know, this edible portion more or less, I ended up with about 12 to 13 ounces. So we flaked it. Yes, right. What will I add next to this? Chopped onion. Some chopped scallion. I used a 1/4 cup of chopped onion and a 1/2 cup of chopped scallion. Hot pepper. I have some peppers here, the different color ones that we all have in our garden. So here I am using the green peppers, 1/2 cup. And if 1/4 cup is what you have, fine. I use a 1/4 cup of the red peppers. You know, we can't let anything go to waste, so we're scraping out everything, yes. I have yellow peppers. So we have used red, green, we have used yellow, yes. Then I have black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I have a tablespoon of homemade all-purpose seasoning we use here. I have 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme leaves. Get these out of the way. And we're going to toss this. We're going to mix this, yeah, right? And I want you to see every step of what we do. So this is the bowl. Right. I am going to add my next ingredient. It's one of my favorite items. It's annatto oil. So we have annatto in our garden. We have harvested the annatto. We put some coconut oil to heat, and we put maybe about a dozen or so seeds of annatto in the hot oil, and it extracts the flavor. And boy, everybody smells what you're doing. So I'm using 4 tablespoons here. 4 tablespoons of annatto oil. I am using coconut milk. I'll start by adding about 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. Right, and we mix this. And now we are going to add the flour. I'm using 1.5 cups of flour. I am using a multigrain flour, but if you don't have that, feel free to use all-purpose flour. And we are going to, let us mix this. I need to add that, so I'm going to add about 1/2 cup more of coconut milk. So I've added a total of 2 cups of coconut milk. And we are mixing to incorporate the flour. I know you may be saying I left out an ingredient. I'll share with you that I have salt in this container. Sometimes the codfish we purchase, some of them have higher levels of salt than others. And when you boil, some of us like to soak the codfish overnight. and then we drain that water, rinse it off, and flake it. Or some of us will boil it sometimes all 3 times, 3 different batches of water. So sometimes when you taste it, it may be low in salt. But though I didn't taste it, I am confident that the salt levels here is okay. And this is ready for frying. So I'm going to move this to the stove here. This skillet is heating up nicely. I've put it on medium heat. And I'm adding a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. 1/2 cup of coconut oil. I come back to the batter. Looks good, very flavorful. There's one point I need to bring to your attention. Remember, I did the mix. We had the codfish there. We had all the seasonings. And we added coconut milk and annatto oil and mixed together. There's one point I didn't bring to your attention. The addition of eggs. I am about to add 2 eggs. You may use 1, but I'm going to add 2 beaten eggs, and that will be okay, depending on the size too. And I'm going to add to this mixture. The beaten eggs traps air and acts also as an added raising agent, and it also helps with the texture of the codfish fritters. So it enriches it, and it acts as a binding agent. And we're mixing. It's not a must, but it makes a difference, so we mix it well. And we are ready. This should be ready for frying. Wow. Join me as I take this over to the stove. I am going to drop using about one of these to drop. No, the size you make is dependent on your own choice. And maybe the occasion you're serving it for. I'm making these for breakfast. But I suppose if you are entertaining, you may make smaller ones. Wow. Set this aside. And we will use a lifter to monitor these. Turn them over. Yes, right. Ooh. Wow. A beautiful color. So we are cooking for maybe about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Wow. Wow. Ooh. Look good. These look so good. Wow. How many of these would you have for breakfast? Did I hear somebody say 4? I think 3 or 4, yes. 6? All of 6? Well, if they are this good, you would want to have more than sometimes the desired amount. Wow. You like the color? Yes, a pretty golden brown color that we have achieved on the, we have that on one side and we have turned over and we are allowing to cook on the other side. So while these are cooking, you may be wondering what else are you going to have with this for breakfast, you know? Saltfish in this is a source of protein, along with the eggs. Flour, your source of carbohydrate. And we added some red, green, and yellow peppers to this. And I'm going to lower the flame a little. Yes, all right. But you're wondering what else you could serve this with. I grew up getting this with avocado. Pear, yes, man, it really makes a difference. But if you are from a community like where I am from, if you are from like Ty Dixon, or if you are up in the hills of Clarendon, that where people have a lot of cocoa beans, you could make some chocolate tea, the one with the oil on top, you know, and serve that. Let us check how far we are with these. Okay. We have a tray here with some paper towel that we'll use to drain them. Wow, wow, these are beautiful. Wow. You know, some of us like to get the fritters a little darker, a little darker color. Just do what suits you, you know. Wow. So we're putting those to drain, and we can add some more. Back to the batter. The yield we have had so far is 12 fritters. 12 big enough, satisfying, and what looks to me as very filling breakfast idea. So 12, and we have one batch of batter yet to put in the skillet. We are putting them to drain on absorbent paper. Yes, wow. So we are down to the last batch of butter. So that's 12, 14, 16, 17, and I think I can get 2 more out of what remains. Remember, we cook these on medium heat. So in the interest of time, while we wait on that, I could move this forward and show you those we have done before. See? I'm about to display them now. We have to allow them to cook on each side so we are able to flip them much better. Wow. So we did 12 before, 14, 16, 17. We have enough butter to do 2 others. Let me see if I can get 2 from this. These are the fritters we made and put to drain. This is not all of them because we have about 3 left in the pot, but I suppose we can leave those in for the persons who help with the washing up, eh? I didn't mean that. We'll share these evenly among all the family members. So we have drained the excess oil from the fritters, and they're somewhat cooled, and we're displaying them. Here we are serving with avocado. Avocado and, wow, I've put another 3, so I had 7. In all, we have a total of 20 fritters, you know. I have actually displayed about 15 here, served with avocado. I think you will find it a filling and satisfying meal. But I have other things to add to this meal, so just stay with me. Let me get these out of the way. So we have the fritters here displayed, and we're going to put them right here. Served up with some avocado. I know you're wondering what is going to be in this mug. I should tell you first, we have family members visiting, eh? And we're going to serve them little breakfast or maybe brunch. So we have the fritters here served up with avocado, the mug here, and we made a pot of chocolate tea. You know, it's cocoa beans that have been roasted. And the beauty about these, you know, they were homemade. So the beans were harvested and they were dried, sun-dried, they were parched, yes, and then you beat with a mortar and a pestle. And these are the chocolate balls. And in the mix we had cinnamon stick, and we have nutmeg. And you know that outer part of the nutmeg pod is the mace. So I'm going for the chocolate tea just for you. This is the one that the oil comes on the top. Oil on the top. Wow. when you grate nutmeg on the top of that. So come now, fritters, hot chocolate, bun and the cheese, homemade bun. And we have served this up with a range of cheeses to include our brand of tasty processed cheese. Over here, we have some escovitch fish. The fish, they were fried and we made the escovitch sauce. The vegetables, carrots, onions, chocho, and of course, hot pepper. And these were sauteed in a little bit of coconut oil. And then we added vinegar. Pimento berries, about 2 or 3 cracked pimento berries were included in this. And I think that your family will enjoy this meal. What say you? We'd like to share these and other recipes with you. We invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our programs. Thank you so much for watching.